Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled in the rolling hills, there lived a hard-working farmer named John. John was known throughout the village for the high-quality butter he produced. His secret? He treated his cows with love and care, ensuring they grazed on lush pastures and were always content. For years, John had a faithful customer in the village, a skilled baker named Thomas. Thomas was renowned for his delicious bread, which had a perfect texture and taste that left villagers craving for more. A unique bond had formed between these two men who shared a love for their respective crafts. However, as time passed, doubts began to cloud Thomas's mind. He couldn't shake the nagging feeling that he might not be receiving the exact amount of butter he was paying for. One day, curiosity got the best of him, and he decided to weigh the butter he had just purchased from John. To his dismay, the scale did not tip in his favor. It appeared that he had been receiving slightly less butter than he had paid for. A sense of injustice washed over Thomas, and he made a difficult decision to take the matter to the village court. He felt that this was a matter of principle and trust. The day of the court hearing arrived, and the small courthouse was filled with villagers eager to witness the proceedings. The Honorable Judge Harris, a wise and fair man, presided over the case. He listened intently as Thomas presented his case, explaining how he had weighed the butter and found it lacking. Judge Harris then turned to John, the farmer, and asked, "Do you use any specific measure to weigh the butter, Mr. John?" John, a simple and honest man, replied respectfully, "Your Honor, I'm a primitive farmer. I don't possess a proper measure for weighing butter, but I do have a scale." Curiosity piqued, Judge Harris inquired further, "Please tell us, Mr. John, how do you weigh the butter with just a scale?" John, with a calm demeanor, began to share his side of the story. "Your Honor, long before this dispute arose, I have been buying a pound loaf of bread from Mr. Thomas here every day. When he brings me the bread, I place it on my trusty scale and make sure it balances perfectly. In return, I give him the same weight in butter." The courtroom fell silent as John's words sank in. It was a simple yet profound revelation. John's honesty and integrity were evident. He had never intended to cheat Thomas or anyone else. He had merely reciprocated the trust he had placed in the village baker. Judge Harris, with a warm smile, delivered his verdict. "It is clear to me that there was no ill intent on Mr. John's part. He has been giving back exactly what he received in good faith. This case is dismissed." The villagers erupted in applause, not just for the judgment but also for the valuable lesson they had learned that day. They realized that in life, one truly does get what they give. John's story became a cherished parable in the village, a reminder that honesty, fairness, and reciprocity were the pillars of trust that bound their tight-knit community together. From that day forward, Thomas and John's friendship grew stronger, as did their businesses. They continued to exchange their bread and butter, knowing that their relationship was built on trust and fairness, a true embodiment of the age-old adage, "You get what you give." And so, in this small village among the hills, a timeless moral lesson lived on, reminding everyone that the bonds of trust and reciprocity were the foundation of a harmonious community, where honesty and integrity reigned supreme. In the end, it was not just a story about butter and bread but a story about the essence of life itself, that by giving our best with honesty and integrity, we create a world where we receive the same in return, where trust and goodness flourish, and where the scales of justice always balance.